We wait all summer for it, and then it finally gets here at the end of August. And what I'm talking about is the beginning of the college football season. And here we are 13 Saturdays later, and it's gone. Yeah, week 13, the last big Saturday of the college football season. I can remember 13 Saturdays ago at the end of August, sitting here in my office. It was about 105 degrees outside, hot as hell in here, doing the first video report of the Saturday college football season. And here it is. It's over. Yeah, we've got the bowl season. Big deal. The games usually aren't that good. We got the national championship game, 7 weeks away from now. But this is it. Where did time fly so quickly? But hopefully you made a lot of money. I know it's been a good year for me. And here on the video report, 2-0 sweep on Thursday with the complimentary plays. Hit 4 out of 5 yesterday. Told you, love Boise State. They got the job done. Also gave you winners yesterday as well on Oklahoma, Penn State, because James Franklin always covers against bad teams, does he not? And also a Boise State Oregon teaser, along with a winner on Oklahoma too. So 4-1 yesterday. I've got 5 picks coming up today. My best bet yesterday happened to be Oregon. Just a little betting advice for you. Listen, yesterday on the video report, I told you that I'd won 7 straight basketball releases, NBA and college basketball combined. But football, well, let's just say those winners have been a little elusive the past 2 weeks. After a great start to the season, just couldn't find one the last couple of weekends. But the one thing I will tell you is always dance with the girl who brought you. And what I mean is, even in the middle of a losing streak, don't change the way you handicap. Don't change anything you do, in fact. I see guys here, there's a couple of them here even at the site, who the minute they start losing, they panic. They start walking on the edge, they get suicidal, they start worrying because they think that next win will never come. I see gamblers do it all the time. It's the biggest mistake. I don't care if I've lost 1 or I've lost 22 games. It's the reason I say I never celebrate the wins. I don't lament the losses. I stay even keel. It's my greatest piece of advice I can give to you, other than buying the half point, because you have to stay consistent with your handicapping principles. The minute you change the way you handicap and evaluate the games, I guarantee you this, you will extend that losing streak because you're not going with your first inclination, your first best bet. And then when you lose, you'll be kicking yourself in the ass. So that's just my little tip for today. Hey, guys, also yesterday on the video report, let me just quickly say again, and props going out to Rick Torino, a guy who's been one of my best friends for over 35 years. I added him to the site at the beginning of the last football season. There is nobody at our site that has been better with college football major releases than Rick. Yesterday, another 100 dime major wager release and another winner. He was on Oregon. And yes, I did not. The minute I saw that I'd released Oregon and then I saw he was on Oregon, I was really worried that I was going to jinx him. But thankfully, it didn't work that way. But he is now 18-4 with his top rated 100 dime all-in college football max wager releases since he joined the site. And he has another one going today. It's NC State, North Carolina. Damned if I know who's going to win the game. I didn't even handicap it because I have no interest in it. So anyway, again, it's available for over half price off over at DeMarcosports.com. Or if you haven't taken advantage of the 2-day free all access pass, you would think the guy who created the sites, the guy who implements all the policies, the guy who runs the sites on a daily basis would get the damn promo right down there. 2-day free all access pass. If you haven't taken advantage of it, you can get Rick's play, my best bet, and all the plays of all the handicappers absolutely free today. Normally $109 value, and another day, your choice, maybe it's tomorrow, for free if you've never taken advantage of it. There are no strings attached. People think it's like, oh my God, you're going to get solicited for this and that. It's like, I don't give a damn. You can take it, and if you never come back, I really don't give a damn. It's totally your choice. The only thing you lose is if you don't take advantage of an absolutely free offer. And I know absolutely free are 2 words that in the gambling lexicon, oh my God, they're like black marks. But in this case, it truly is free. So take it or leave it. It's your choice. I don't care. I truly don't give a damn. Okay, let's get to your complimentary plays. Let's start with the early card that little game, Michigan and Ohio State. Do you think Lou Holtz is pulling for Ryan Day today? Just thinking about that. A lot of people will say that Ohio State is the team with the pressure on it, but maybe it's Michigan because now you've won two straight. And now it's Michigan with the us against them mentality, right? And Michigan with Harbaugh being suspended. But now you're in the favorite role. I think the pressure is actually more on the Wolverines here than on Ohio State. And yes, I know the Buckeyes, if they lose this game, Ryan Day will be forever chastised. He'll actually be in James Franklin territory soon. But I'm looking at Michigan here. And I will say about this game that the marquee games are always the toughest ones to win. It's why I didn't go with a play on the Chiefs and the Eagles on Monday night. Yeah, I like the Birds, but it was a small rated selection. Instead, I went into basketball and won an easy best bet on the Clippers that night, hammering the San Antonio Spurs. Marquee games are always toughest because the lines are always the sharpest games. Now, I would much rather concentrate the most where the odds makers concentrate the least. And, today I found my best bet is Arizona State, a game that most of you probably don't even give a damn about. Obviously, Ohio State is in double revenge. The thing that worries me here is how healthy are the Wolverines? Only 150 yards rushing, 3.3 yards per carry against Maryland last week. Is it because the offensive line is a little banged up? Or is it because they got caught looking ahead to this game? J.J. McCarthy, a really bad game, a second straight bad game. Remember, did he even throw a pass in the second half of the game 2 weeks ago at Penn State when they ran the ball like 143 consecutive plays? Last week against Terrapins, 12 for 23, 141 yards, and I think for the third straight game he had an interception. I just don't know. And yet, when all is said and done, I just can't back Ohio State. Yes, that line is sitting there at 3.5. So you know what I'm going to say. Buy down the half point with Michigan. I'm also looking at the total in that game of 46.5. I don't think, unlike the last couple of years, this is going to be a high scoring game. I can see this being right down to the wire, a 20-17 game, kind of like how Ohio State and Notre Dame was. So naturally, somebody calls me and texts me now. I like Michigan minus the points. And again, I'm buying down that half point on the Wolverines. Next game, Louisville, minus 7.5. They've won 11 straight at home, but they've lost 3 straight at home to Kentucky. In fact, they've lost 4 in a row in this series to the Wildcats by an average margin of 30.5 points. What does this mean to Jeff Brom? Absolutely nothing, because he wasn't coaching the Cardinals at that time. But ironically, when he was the quarterback of the Cardinals, he never won a Governor's Cup either. The road team has been tremendous in the series. But you know what? I don't give a damn about that either, because this Louisville team is head and shoulders over Kentucky. They're coming off a lucky win, I will say, against Miami of Florida last week. But at home, Louisville has been so damn good this year. The defense is outstanding. On the season, they're giving up just an average of 317 yards a game. What I liked last week at Miami, that Jack Plummer had to come up with a big game, and he did. 3 touchdowns, 19 on the season, 65% completions. But it's really been the running game, which is kind of the antithesis of what Brom has always been known for during his coaching career. It's been the running game that's propelled Louisville to great heights this year, with Jahar Jordan over 1,000 yards and number 22 rusher in the nation at 6.7 yards per carry, which makes him number 8 in the nation. And again, that defense, they're averaging almost 3 sacks a game and 72 tackles for loss this year. For Kentucky, this is the 3rd road game in 4 weeks. They haven't beaten a bowl-eligible team all year. They've lost 5 of their last 6, and the only win in that stretch was at Mississippi State. Who the hell cares about that? They're coming off a 17-14 loss at South Carolina. Remember, South Carolina at this point in the season, and really for the past month, has been a one-dimensional team because of injuries at running back. It's really Spencer Rattler and nothing else. That is not Louisville's MO. They're going to run the ball. So in this case, I'm going to take Louisville. And again, 7.5, I'm buying down to 7. Next game, an under-the-radar game, but I like Old Dominion minus 2.5 at home in a Sun Belt clash today against Georgia State. A Georgia State team that, yes, last week got hammered at LSU, but they were supposed to get hammered by LSU. But in their previous three games, their defense allowed 42, 42, and 44 points, respectively, when they took on Appalachian State, James Madison, and Georgia Southern, with two of those three games actually being at home. I like Old Dominion in this one. They have added incentive because they need to win to become bowl eligible. I like the fact that they snapped the three-game losing streak with the road win. Can't talk. Road win 20-17 at Georgia Southern. And when I say they had a three-game losing streak, keep in mind, one of the losses was against unbeaten Liberty, still unbeaten. One of the losses was then to undefeated James Madison, and the other one was at home to Coastal Carolina. You're talking about the three big dogs in the Sun Belt Conference. So I like Old Dominion at 2.5. I'm really surprised they're not favored a little more in this spot. Next one, the Iron Bowl. Alabama minus 13.5 at Jordan Hare Stadium, which, by the way, I think is one of the nicest stadiums, one of the nicest area, the Plains. I love visiting college football stadiums throughout the country, and that is one of the nicest. If you ever get a chance to go, you ought to check it out. But listen, does Alabama get caught looking ahead to next week's SEC championship game against Georgia? I don't think so. Did Auburn get caught looking ahead to this game when they got upset last week by New Mexico State at home? No, I just don't think Auburn is that good of a team. I think Alabama is focused right now. You've seen the trajectory of Nick Saban's team this season. Started off shaky, lost to Texas, but each week the offense has gotten better, but more importantly, the defense has played much better. And that's why I like Alabama here. And the one thing you know when Alabama plays Auburn, that if Nick Saban gets the lead, he ain't taking his foot off the gas pedal. Because Nick Saban doesn't want to win by 3 or 4. He wants to win by 30 or 40 against Auburn in this one. And you've got a Tide team that's on a 7-1 ATS roll, no pun intended, roll Tide roll. And I'm going to go with them in this one because if you lose to New Mexico State 31-10 at home, shame on you. The next game I'm going to take a look at is going to be Farmageddon. You know what Farmageddon is? Farmageddon is Kansas State taking on Iowa State tonight in Manhattan. And it's senior night in Manhattan. Kansas State is a 10-point favorite against Iowa State. I want to talk about this game here just for a second. And remember, by the way, let me just recap the plays that I've given you already and how I like those plays, okay? Number one is actually going to be Louisville. Number two is going to be Old Dominion. Number three is going to be, and the third tier, let's put it this way, is going to be Alabama and Michigan, okay? So number one, Louisville. Number two, Old Dominion. And on the third tier is Alabama and Michigan. I want to give you a teaser, just like yesterday. And the first half of this teaser is going to be, drum roll please, Kansas State and Farmageddon tonight. Armageddon, good movie, but Farmageddon could be interesting here tonight. And the reason why I'm not playing Kansas State straight up here is that it's going to be about 28 degrees at kickoff, and there could be 4 to 7 inches of snow expected in Manhattan here tonight. You've got Iowa State coming off a 26-16 home loss to Texas, and that was a big game for Iowa State. A lot of talk between the Longhorns and the Cyclones coming into that one. That was their second home loss in 3 games. Remember, they were also upset by Kansas at home, too. Their last 3 wins, and I'm talking about Iowa State, Cincinnati, Baylor, and BYU. Not too impressive, right? Kansas State has averaged 45 points at home this season. They have won 5 of their last 6. They're coming off a 31-27 win at Kansas. So, in a 2-team, 7-point teaser, I love Kansas State minus 3 points. I mean, I just think that is a great play for them tonight. And the team that I would hook them up, nope, not Alabama, nope, not Michigan. It's going to be Louisville. You're going to take Louisville down to 1. They're 7.5. You're going to take them down to 1 and just say, win the damn game. Perfect situation. Louisville and Kansas State would be your 2-team teaser. And that, my friends, is actually the play I like more than any of those side selections today. I love that teaser. Also, little information here for you. I thought about going with Oklahoma State here today. But I will tell you that Oklahoma State is a 16.5-point favorite. They basically win today. They reached the Big 12 title game. I think that they should easily beat up BYU. But big asterisk here. About 4 o'clock this morning, as I'm doing my research, reading, oh my God, the Oklahoman, and then a number of different blogs about the Cowboys, I came across a little note that Ollie Gordon II, who is, just the key to their offense, was in a walking boot Monday after the win at Houston on Saturday. He's going to play today, but you got to wonder how much Mike Gundy is going to press him in this game. Let's say Oklahoma State is up here comfortably at one point in the second half, and they win. They get to the Big 12 championship game. They're going to play Texas, right? Is Ollie Gordon going to be pressed for that many carries in the second half if he was in a walking boot, for Christ's sake, on Monday? That immediately took Oklahoma State off the board for me. And if I was you, I would take them off the board as well. I didn't even want to consider them in a teaser at this point because A, their offensive line has been beaten up. B, their defense has been pathetic. And C, when you've got a guy who has really just been powering your offense for the past 8 weeks, other than one bad game at Central Florida, that's a no-win situation there, so can't possibly bet them. So anyway, that's your rundown for today. Wish you well, guys, and we will do this again tomorrow. Good luck, everybody.